Hello and welcome to Farming Simulator 2015 mod showcase with me, Kevin Sawyer. And I've got a nice, interesting little placeable for you by the name of weinreben pack. I think that's how you pronounce it. Weinreben pack is German, obviously. I believe it means wine barn, perhaps, but don't quote me on it, guys. But anyway, I digress. It's an interesting little placeable. Again, for those guys that don't know how to use GE like me, it's quite handy. Once you've downloaded it and installed it into your mods folder, obviously it comes as a zip folder, and you just literally just pull it off your downloads and put it into your mods folder. It's brought to you by a mod of the name Susi25, and the version I'm running is 1.5 final. Now, okay, it suggests that it's the final version of this mod, but you never know. The guy might come, or the modder may come back in to tinker about with it at a later date, so bear that in mind, guys. So if you're watching this at a later date, you might find that the mod may have changed in some aspect. But anyway, I digress. First of all, let's just quickly drive this up to the first part of it, and then I'll go into where it all is on the mods placeables for you. So let's just stop it right there and shut the engine off. Right, so once you've installed it, you're going to find it in placeables. You will need UPK for this to work. Again, it's going to be a bit of a hand sort of like say. It's going to be a bit of a tutorial, I should say. Save two birds with one hand. That's the phrase I was looking for. But anyway, it comes as a pack. And this is all the placeable side of it, and I'll go into the other part of the pack in a second. But this is the white wine vineyards, and this is the red wine vineyards. Now they both cost exactly the same amount to buy and in maintenance per day, so they're both 1,800 purchase and £0 per day in maintenance. And you buy, and it's generic placeable, like everything else in this pack. I will say one thing. I will say is it does use UPK, I should say, and it does quite a good job of trying to place it well. But again, if you're on a very hilly map like mine, I'm using it at the moment, you might find that you need to find a nice flat bit of land just to give you a bit of a sporting chance. But anyway, that's how it works. It's the same as any placeable. Now this here, that costs £1 per day, and it costs £1 to purchase as well. So, but that's a trigger. You can just more or less directly sell straight to that, and it's give you the money instantaneously. This one here, this is where you produce the wine, and I'll go through how you use that in a second. But it's not cheap. It's £380,000 to purchase. Excuse me. £380,000 to purchase. Sorry, excuse me. And £1,650 to buy. Now, this is the sugar producing factory. Now, that's again not cheap. It's £2,850 and £1,200 to buy. So for maintenance per day. Now this is the fun bit. This bit here. This is the sales shop. Basically, works like a little pub in a sense. So it sells wine over hours. Now, I've seen videos where the characters sort of like start appearing in the seats, and I'll show you in a second. But I'm not entirely sure whether that's true or fiction or whatever. But anyway, it costs £1,200 to, or 100. Sorry, to say £1,020,000 I'll try that again. £120,000 to buy, and £1,200 to purchase per day. Again, it's freely placeable again. And last but not least in the placeable categories is a storage unit. And again, I'll go through how that works in a sec. But that's £60,000 to purchase and £800 in maintenance per day. Right, but anyway, I'll go through it. With the grapes here, or the wineries, they take about, I'd say 12 to 13 hours to fully mature. So they're not a quick instant thing. You will need to work on them for a little while. Well, another thing, as you see, I might have just remembered, I should say. The next part of the pack, I've just remembered, is, let's go back to mods. It's in tippers. So you go into the tippers category, and you find again through the same modder. So you've got two types of trailer, which are the dolly type, which is £5,900 to purchase, and it has £12 maintenance per day, and the capacity looks like 6,000 litres. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong one. It's 5,900, yep, 12 per day, 6,000, and there's your requirements for pulling it. And as for the other one, it's not a dolly trailer, it's a regular, just a straight out trailer. And that's 3,900 to purchase, and it's £12 per maintenance per day to run. But anyway, that's they're all in the same pack, so once you've installed it, you'll find them all eventually pretty easily. But once you've set everything up and everything's matured, just drive up to your wineries here. It works roughly to how the Ross and Fowler orchards works. Exactly the same principle, except it doesn't work with the Ross and Fowler stuff, unfortunately. Which is a bit of a shame, because if you've already set up some orchards like I have, you could just use the wine off of there, or the grapes off them, and you'd be good to go straight off the bat. But because it doesn't do that, you have to use its own grapes vinery. You might have to set this all up again, which is a bit of a shame. But hey ho, there's modders for you. But anyway, I'll just quickly drive across here, fill this trailer up. I'll show you the next bit works. So here's obviously your red wine grapevines, obviously, as you can see. As I said, they take about 12-13 hours to fully mature. I think we are full. Are we full? Near enough. So we are now full. So I'll go over and show you this next bit. So it's a bit laggy today as well. I don't know what's up with my PC. Again, it's having a bit of a bad day. But this is the next bit of it. Now this is the I'll pull in here quickly. Well, I won't pull in here. Quickly jump out. Now this is the store unit, and it's all, well, obviously you can speak German. You're well away, but if you're English like me, you might find it's a bit not understandable, I should say. But from what I figured out, on this side of the barn, this is where the sugar is stored. So if you've got spare sugar left over, you store it here, and the collection point's here. So you just drive the trailers up to this, and it starts to load. And with Aspect, this is like the drop-off point for all three. So for white, red, and sugar, just drive into this middle bit, as I'll show you in a sec, and it will drop them off in the corresponding little boxes for you. But around here is, I believe, will be the red grape collection point. So you drive the trailer up to this bit, and then around here is the white grape collection point. So I'll quickly just show you what's involved. So you just drop off your goods like that. As you can see, it starts to stack up. And you're good to go, and you can leave it into storage. As you can see, the percentages of what you've got as well. So, but again, because this is just, I've just started using this map mod, I should say. I haven't really built much of a backstore in it, just enough to give you guys a demonstration of how it works. But once you should hopefully pick that up. There we go. Once you want to collect some from this, or your wine vineyards are still growing or whatever, you just want to do some bits, you just literally drive up to that bit. Try not to crash like me. I've inadvertently left my damage mod on as well, which doesn't help. I'm hoping that I can find a mod that will repair these on the fly, so to speak, or a placeable workshop which you can actually fix them up in. But that's another thing altogether. Anyway, once you want to drop them off, you don't crash like I just have. You should get to a point that's a bit of a tough place to find a tipper point, admittedly. Oh, see, it flashes up quickly. You can miss it very easily. There we go. So you drop them off, and it should start to fill up. And that fills up your wine. And hopefully don't get your tractor stuck like I am. Oops. Try that again, Kev. There we go. Right. So once you've done that, I'll take you over to this bit. You're going to need some sugar for it. Now, if you, what you can do, this is where this takes into play the sugar factory. What you need to do to fill this thing up, you need to have sugar beets. And so it's a new, interesting way for you guys to use your sugar beets. Let me try and actually back up into the loading area rather than try and drive round, since I'm having a disastrous driving today. But just back up into the there, and dump off your sugar beets up into this point here. Once you've done that, you'll see that the levels go up on that. Let's quickly shut that down. The levels go up over time, and one thing I will say to you guys with this, and I believe with the wine production thing and the sell point, it only does it certain times per day. I believe it's roughly sort of like 8-9 o'clock in the morning to sort of like 11 at night, maybe. A bit varies, so you might find that it's not producing anything, and if you're in the middle of the night and you stop it up and nothing happens, don't worry, it's just because it shuts down overnight. It will come back on in the morning. You just have to wait until a certain time for it to trigger. But anyway, once you get enough sugar, just load up your trailer here full of sugar. And once you have a full trailer of sugar, you need to then take that trailer of sugar. Whoops, crashed into a car. Yeah, no, you don't need to crash into a car to get this to work, by the way, guys. Just let you know. Anyway, let's crash into the bag of sugar there as well. And there's the tip trigger for that. So you start filling this up again. I'll just shut off and leave it in here. Anyway, go back up to your information point, which is just here by the side of the Bowser, and you can see the levels and everything you need to keep an eye on there. So eventually wine, you can see the wine is on the bottom there, and it's at 63%. I'll wait until it produces a full palette. Let's increase time quickly. I've already made one palette with this, just to see how it works. It's at 80%, 83%. And it's 100%. Juice down. It's just now warned me that it's full. Yes, I'm aware it's full. Thank you very much. That's where you need your next bit, which is obviously a front loader or a telehandler or whatever you need, as long as it's got a pallet fork on it, or even a forklift if you've got one. Just jump into this, and this is the next bit of it. You need to get the pallet off of here. Now, I'll quickly show you before. You can actually delete the pallet by pressing the delete key. KX, delete pallet, yeah. Key X to delete pallet. So you can delete pallet if it gets wedged or it's unusable, or you just want to unload it for any reason but don't want to actually sell it, then away you go, it deletes the pallet. I don't know if it gives you any credit for it, I haven't tested that. I suspect not, it probably just resets the pallet to 0. But anyway, you pick up your pallet. Once you've picked up your pallet, and you can either drive it straight to the pub in itself, or as I call it, or you can load it up onto the back of a trailer like this, like I am at the moment. Your decision is yours. I think there might be mods out there that cater for this, to carry this. Again, you'd have to go and have a look for yourselves to find them, and that guy's going to get in my way. Thank you very much, BMW driver. Anyway, let's load this up. Hope we don't inadvertently knock the other one off. There we go. Quickly shut that down. And we'll just jump in the truck here. And I'll drive this down to the next bit. Can't look out the window. It's not Euro truck, Kev, or American trucks in that. So this is the next bit, which is quite funky. In fact, I'm going to really jump out this rig and make sure I don't inadvertently lose my cargo. Yeah, it's quite an interesting little thing, this, but I'll just show you both the aspects of the mod here. Basically, what you've got 2 sell points, like I said. This is just the one where you just straight up sell it and get your money straight away, straight off the bat. And this over here is the pub itself. So I'll show you how this works, because obviously this is the fun one. I'm guessing the amount of percent you put in it is the amount of dependent on how many people are in the bar at the pub at the time. I guess the more you fill it up, the more people appear. I'm guessing, but I haven't played with it enough to really utilise it. Once you pung it in, switch that off. I'll go walk round here. As you can see, the little crates will start appearing here, and you've got your fill level. It says 6%, so it'd take a lot of them to really fill this right up. But like I said, I believe I've seen videos where sometimes this, when it, once it gets to a certain percentage, it sort of like fills them up, and there's people sitting in these seats having drinks, etc., etc. But I've not yet to see that myself. As for aspects of how much it actually gives you, I'm not entirely sure per hour, because I've got other things running in the background as well that's generating money. So if this is your only mod, you can get a good gauge of it, but I'm not entirely sure, like I say, how much it gives you percentage per hour, and whether it's worth you even taking the time to do it. But it's just a bit of extra fun on the farm, I guess. See, it's already gone down to 6%, I believe. Was it 6% we started off with? No, it might have been. Let's have a quick fast forward of timing again. So it's gone down to 1% now, and it's given us a little bit, I believe. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the mod showcase. If you did, please don't forget to like, and if you're new to my channel, I want to see future mod showcases and anything else I'm working on. Please don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out all my other mod showcases that I've got on my mod showcase listings as well. And please feel free to have a look through any of my video archives. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next one. Ta-ta for now.